Oh, there we go. The
Good
recording is on.
morning, I'm back.
Great. Thanks, Rita.
You're welcome.
Okay, then let's get started. If other people are joining the call a bit later, that's also fine. But it's yeah, Deborah, you can let them in.
Of course.
So good morning, everyone. Very warm welcome to this session. So today we'll be explaining you some details about the new open call that we have up and running. And that is the open call for repositories and data service providers. It's the second time that we do this, second round of the program. And before I go in any details on the program, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Luc Brinkman. I work at DANS in the Netherlands, which is a national data repository. I'm here with my colleague Deborah and also with Rita from Trust IT. And before I go into any more details on the support offer that we have, I would like to take one step back and to have a look at the larger project where our support offer is a subcomponent of. So that is the project Fair Impact. And of course, I should have started with this housekeeping. As you've seen, this session is being recorded. If you don't want to be on camera, please keep your camera off during the presentation. The reason that we record this is that we will include this recording on the website, where we have also the information of the call, where you can sign up, so that also other people have access to this video. So, as I said, let's start with a few words on the Fair Impact project. Fair Impact is a European project where 28 partners from different countries come together and together work towards making research data more fair in Europe and also beyond. It's a Horizon Europe project that started in the summer of 2022, and it's a 3-year project with a total budget of 10 million euros. And we have a very strong consortium with providers of research infrastructure, research performing organizations, international networks, and also we have partners with a specific expertise in specific domains, such as social sciences and humanities, life sciences, agri and food. So we have a very diverse and a very strong consortium, and many of these partners are also involved in a support program that we'll be presenting here today. So what this project aims to do is to make research data in Europe more fair, and more specifically, we try to do this not by reinventing the wheel, but also by making use of methods, tools, policies that are already have already been developed, either at institutes or in other European projects, and to make sure that these tools and projects are accessible and easy to use for a wider audience, and in particular also to look at whether solutions that work in one domain, whether we can also translate that and apply that to other domains. And in the larger picture of this is that we like to contribute to what we call the European Open Science Cloud, which is a federated system where many repositories or research institutes or researchers make their data available in a fair way, which makes it more easy to connect all this data, and also makes it more easy to find this data and make it more interoperable. So in the end, we would have one big network of fair data that is available to everyone. But first, we would like also to know a little bit more about you. So if you go to slido.com and enter the code that you see on the screen, and maybe Deborah, you can also put that in the chat, or Rita, maybe you can do that.
Yes.
Then a couple of questions to get a little bit of a feel for who is in the audience with us here today.
Giving time to people to join us on Slido. At the moment, we don't have any, if I'm correct. So you need to click on the link that it's on the chat. And then when you go there, you'll see a box saying joining as a participant. You only need to enter the code that we also pasted on the chat. Okay, I see people now writing. Shall I share my screen, Loic?
Yes, please.
Okay, let me go there. Let's see.
Oh, I think this is the last question.
Okay, we started with this one, it seems.
No, I think this is the fifth question. Rita. Can you
Could
go
be.
this one?
This is what came up first, Luke, when I typed in the code. So maybe things have got flipped around.
Could be. If that's okay, can we start with this one, Loic? See people are replying, and then we'll go back to the first one.
Okay, that's also fine.
So we have several replies at the moment.
I think this is one of the most challenging questions, so it's a nice exercise to start with that. So in an ideal world, which fair-related differences will your community notice in a year from now? So this is really related to what would you like to, as an organization, how would you like to see things progress in terms of fair data?
So I'm going to go down through all of them, like. Benefits to researchers, redundant information. Okay, that's a problem. Fair sharing in the humanities.
Yeah, very important. And I think also that our data is retrievable in machine-readable formats. That's also a very interesting one. And actually something that we'll also will be touching upon in our support program, because indeed there is so much data being generated that we need to make it machine operable in order to make proper use of it. And I think it's also a very valid point to not start with fair data as an afterthought when the project has ended, but start very early on in the process. And I think that starts, fair data requires planning, of course. It can be done in the form of DMPs, data management protocols, for example. Is also a topic that we'll be touching upon in our support program. So thanks for this. Can we go to the first question?
Sure, let's go then.
So do you represent a data repository, a registry, or an other data service?
Another data service is winning.
Well, the data repository is catching up.
Yeah, let's see, we have a...
Yeah, I see in the chat it depends on the repository definition. Yes, that is a valid point.
Oi.
We can move to the second question.
Okay.
So to get an idea on where are you based, where are you from? So in which country are you based?
Slovenia, Germany. Germany is winning.
Ah.
UK, Germany, UK, Germany again. Tunisia and Spain. UK? Okay. Italy.
So we have many participants from Germany here today, which is nice. And
Czech Republic.
Czech Republic as well. Thank you. Let's go to the third question.
Let's go.
So is FAIR explicitly part of your organization's policy or mission? For the majority of people, it is the case, which is a good starting position. But for some others, it is not, or not yet. FAIR in research institutional policies is also part of the support program. So if it is not yet part of your policy, you can also learn how you could do it. And if it is already in there, it's also one of the things that we can offer is also to see how you can make it more explicit or make it more improve the policies on fairness in your institute. The fourth question, please. So how much knowledge of FAIR would you say that you have at this moment? Ranging from never heard of it to heard of it, not really sure what it is, or familiar with the concept, or maybe you're already an active contributor to European Open Science Cloud. Yeah, so for the large majority, it's you are familiar with the concept. It's not the first time that you hear the acronym, but maybe it's also there are still ways in which you can improve how you are currently implementing FAIR. And it's a bit of a tricky question also because FAIR can the four letters are also quite distinct and have very specific knowledge or tools or methodologies associated with them. So maybe you are very familiar with one of the with findability, but maybe interoperability and reusability is something that is less familiar to you, something that is fairly often the case. So also in that case, the nice thing in the support program that we offer is that you can it's really tailored to your needs. So you can focus on the aspects that are most relevant for you. Okay, thanks, Rita. I will continue with the presentation and I'll share my screen again. So there we go. So within FAIR Impact, we have different ways in which we want to support making research data more fair. And basically, we have three different support routes. And the first one, that's the one that we'll also be talking about today, is a support offer via dedicated guidance and one-on-one support. So what that means is that in our support program, we offer the time and expertise of the partners of the consortium, presenting you with new tools and methodologies to make research data more fair, or for your organization to become more fair enabling, and also provide one-on-one support in actually implementing it in your own environment. Next to that, we also have a second round of support where we provide financial support for people to test out and try specific tools and approaches and solutions. So the distinction also between the Route 1 and the Route 2 support is that in the Route 1 support, there's a wider range of tools that you will be introduced to. And it's for people who are not very advanced in making in being fair enabling, so at the beginner level or the intermediate level, where the Route 2 support is more focused on one specific tool and is more suited for people who already have taken some steps in making in becoming fair enabling. And next to that, we also have a series of fair implementation workshops open to everyone, where we in each workshop touch upon a specific topic or aspect of becoming more fair enabling. And then at the end of this session, I'll also give you some words on 2 upcoming fair implementation workshops that we have that are due. So what does the program look like? Basically, we will go through a 7-step procedure over the course of 7 months. And we call this the fair implementation framework. And in the first step, we do some introspection and see to get a grip on why do you actually want to become more fair enabling, because becoming fair enabling can mean very different things. And as I said before, do you want to focus on findability? Do you want to focus on reusability? And before making a decision on where you want to focus on, it's good to start to see why you actually want to do this, because then it also becomes more clear on what you want to achieve. In the second step, you'll be performing a self-assessment where to see how you're already doing in terms of promoting fairness. And this, the combination of the steps 1 and 2, allows you to specify goals for this program, to see what are the specific aspects of FAIR that you want to focus on. So in the third step, you'll be introduced to a wide range of tools or practices that will allow you to increase the fairness of your organization, or I should say, increase the for your organization to increase the fairness of your research objects, and to make a concrete plan out of this. So a fair what we call the fair implementation plan. And once you have this plan in place, it's almost always the case that you cannot achieve this on your own. You need other people, either within your organization or outside of your organization. You need these stakeholders to cooperate with you. So in the fourth step, we'll help you to set up a stakeholder engagement plan. Then in the fifth step, you will actually get to work and start implementing the action plan that you have drafted. And in step 6, we will help you and see how things are going and help you along the way to make sure that you will be able to realize your plans as well as possible. And in the 7th step, it's a bit of looking back, sharing your experiences with your peers, and also with people outside of the program. So what can you expect from us? As I said, it's our expert guidance. So we have many experts within our consortium on either on different disciplinary domains or have expertise in one or more of the tools that we are presenting to you. And we will helping you with practical advice throughout the process, helping you to actually implement the things that you want to work on. Throughout this program, you'll also be assigned a mentor that provides one-on-one support throughout the program to help you, for example, with your self-assessment, help you to set up the fair implementation action plan, and also with the engagement strategy. On top of that, there will be ample of opportunities to change experiences with your peers within your cohort. And at the end, we'll ask you to participate in a short interview based on which we will develop a fair implementation story, which also will be published, to make sure that also other people outside of the cohort can benefit from this experience. So this is a slide with a lot of text on it, because it's also mainly there if you want to read it back at a later moment. Then it has a lot of information. But the main message here is actually the 5 bullet points. So in the support program, we will introduce you to a series of tools and methodologies that you can use to become more fair enabling. And they are in different categories. For example, there are tools and methodologies for devising or improving your repository policy when it comes to FAIR. We also have tools and methodologies on practical advice on making the digital objects within your repository more fair. Or it goes even one step further, and we also have tools to actually assess the fairness of your digital objects. That can be done with checklists, but it can also be done in an automated way. For example, with the Fuji tool, where you basically enter the URL of a dataset, and it will automatically assess it and give you scores for how fair these digital objects are. And these can help you to improve the fairness of your digital objects. We also have tools and services for repository certification. And last but not least, EOSC readiness. So how can you connect your repository to the European Open Science Cloud to make sure that the digital objects within your repository are also findable when people, for example, search through the portal of the European Open Science Cloud. So this is really about compatibility, interoperability, and findability. This you can do the program on your own, but we recommend doing it as a small team, maybe 2 or 3 people, because also in order to be able to implement changes within your organization, it's good to have also people within your team with different roles who also have maybe a different mandate or stronger mandate in your organization to actually change things. So we encourage you to apply for the support offer in small teams. So this is a timeline of the program. As I said, it's a 7-month program, and throughout this program there will be we'll be offering 6 workshops. The first one starting in September, and these workshops will be 2 or 3 hours. In the first workshop, we will focusing on your drivers for becoming more fair enabling. In the second workshop, we'll be focusing introducing you to a series of tools and methods. Then in the third workshop, you'll be working on your fair implementation action plan. In the fifth one, we'll be focusing on stakeholder engagement. And then after the fourth workshop, then it's time to start to implement your action plans. And in the early 2025, in January and February, you'll be working on this, on the implementation, and there will be opportunities to also exchange experiences with your peers in your cohort. And the program then will end in March. So in between these workshops, there will be homework assignments. For example, the self-assessment assignment, working on the action plan and the engagement plans, actually putting the implementation plans, turning them into reality, implementing them, and also in the end, an exit interview on which we will co-create together with you a fair implementation story. And so throughout these workshops, you will also have a mentor available to you who will help you with all these assignments. And I don't think I've mentioned it before, but all these meetings will be online. There will be no in-person meetings. Everything will be done online. So what is expected from you? Well, first of all, that you will actively participate in the workshops that we are organizing, that you can allocate time to work on the homework assignments, that you actually intend to not only make an action plan, but also follow up on it. And that may require that you are able to engage with relevant stakeholders with either within or outside your organization. So it's important that your team has that, is able to do that. And also the willingness to partake in an exit interview and a follow-up questionnaire half year or a year later to see how, it's also helpful for us to see how beneficial this program is to you, so that we can also further improve this. All in all, I would say expect that the time effort that is needed to invest in this program is about 50 hours. So who can apply to this support program? It's open to all repositories and data service providers all around the globe. It's not restricted to Europe. So if you at this moment are already very much interested and to sign up for the program, Rita will now talk you through the more practical aspects of it on how you can engage with the registration platform.
Hi everyone, good morning. Rita here. I'm very happy to be part of this event to give an overview how you can apply to the call that Loic just presented. I'm afraid my camera is off today, so thank you for your understanding on that matter. So going straight to the point, it's very simple to apply to the Fair Impact program, but the fact it's simple, it requires some steps. So the first one is very easy. You need to go to the Fair Impact website. You have the links on the presentation. This presentation itself will be available on the event page, so you can easily access them. So first you need to go to the event page and to click on that blue button where the yellow arrow is pointing out. It will take you directly to the grants platform, which is the second link, and that's where all the magic happens, let's say. On the next slide, you will be on the grants platform. This is a print screen of the homepage. So for this program in specific that Loic provided overview, you need to click on that one, which is in blue, which means the call is open, and you click on apply now. And when you do that, we'll be on the application form. So on the next slide, we will see the application form has several questions on the right. It's just a snapshot of the top questions. You just need to carefully fill them in with the information about why you are applying. And one important aspect is that you may ask, Rita and Loic, do I need to do all the application at once and submit, or I can start saving to draft and finalize in another day? Yes, you can do this. So you can save in a draft mode and come back and to finalize writing your application. When you finalize this writing, it's very important that you click on the submit button, which you'll see at the bottom of the web page, okay? And you have to do this obviously within the then after this, you just need to wait for us. One thing that I would like to advance is that your application will be evaluated not just by one, but by 3 different evaluators who will assess your application, and we'll select let's say the applications based on the scores that these 3 different applications that each application had given, okay? And after that is done, we have an overview, and we'll start contacting applicants saying that you were funded or not. It's very simple. So first step, go to the Fair Impact website, click on the blue button, then you go to the grants platform, you click on the program, and then you have your application form, and you just need to click on submit. And this is it, as simple as that. So I believe on the next slide, we can we have more details about who and what are you looking for in these applications. Maybe I may give the floor to you, Loic, on this matter.
Yeah,
What
sure.
profiles we are looking for.
Yeah. So of course there is some information that we would like to a link to the repository registry that you're representing. As I said, we would like to encourage you to work in small teams of up to 3 team members, and also indicate what is the current level of the fair enabling capabilities of your organization. That is something that you will be evaluated on, where we will focus more on people who are not that advanced at the current stage, and also to see to what extent are you able, do you actually have the power or the mandate within your organization to make a change. So I think that's about it for now. One thing I would like to show first is the timeline, and then we can open up the floor for questions. So as you know, the call is currently open. It was opened the 2nd of May, and the deadline for applying is the 14th of June. As Rita explained, there will be a review procedure of your applications, and then the successful applicants will be notified by mid-July, and the program then will start in September. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, the floor is yours. You can either just raise your hand, or you can also ask them via chat.
So while we give some time to our colleagues to think about potential questions they may have, just would like to advance is that during the time that the call is open, you can always contact the Fair Impact team by using the web form we have on the website, and we also have a link on the application. We have a link on the page of the call where the link you can use to ask for further questions. And then the point is, today we're organizing these events, so to present the call, you can pose your questions if you have any already, but we are also we are having another one in June, which is called the Virtual Clinic. So in case you may think, oh my, I don't have any questions now, but I may have later, and I want to talk to someone rather than writing, there will be another event by the early of June, and also some days before the deadline to give you time to take into consideration our feedback, and you can implement in your application.
Yes, thank you for that, Rita.
You're welcome. Hilona.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
I have a very specific question. So to get to know if this is a question that could be answered during the program. So I'm responsible as a service manager for a repository, you could say, depends on the definition. And we want to apply for core trust seal. But since we are kind of a special repository because we try to make data fair during the active project phase, we are very unsure if we could apply or if there are limits or if we have to change to do that. And that would be, for example, one question of many, but this is our main question. And would you say that this kind of question could be answered during the program?
It depends a little bit, of course, on the specific situation. I think that within our support program, it is one of our aims to help people with certification, and core trust seal is one of the things that we can provide support on. So yes, I think it would be definitely interesting to sign up for the program with this specific question. At the same time, I also have to say that the whole procedure of really obtaining core trust seal certification is an elaborate and lengthy process, and yeah, we cannot guarantee or that this whole process will be completed in the time
Yeah.
of this program. So no promises there, but I think definitely to get you started and get some guidance and assistance on how to get started in this process, I think the program can be very useful.
Okay, yeah, that's very interesting because once we were in the part of the Fair program with another repository from when I was at another university, and I guess that was a little bit different, right? There was a direct focus on just the contract, and now here it's more, and I guess that's also what we're searching for, more broader, expertise. Okay, thank you.
But also what we, so as I said, this is the second round that we're doing. We're currently in the first round, and we have many participants focusing on very different aspects of becoming more fair enabling. So maybe someone is more focusing on certification, another person might be more focusing on machine operability. And that's also we intend this be an interesting experience for all of us, so we can also learn from each other. And you also mentioned the Fair project. So Fair Impact is specifically also looking into taking the outputs of other projects, like for example Fair, to also make sure that they are implemented and make sure they are used. So and also we're indeed also building upon some of the things that have been offered in the support program for repositories in the Fair program. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Any more questions?
I don't see any. Oh, Bernarda?
Yes, hi. I'm from Slovenia, University of Maribor. If I understand right, the team of 3 members can be involved, but the application is each member for themselves has to put out this application, or for the institution or the whole team.
So Rita, maybe you have more insight into this, but it's I think the application, on the application form, there will be one main applicant, but you will list the other people of your team within the application. So you only have to do it once.
I confirm this.
Yes, because our repository is also already involved in EOSC, and we need this certificate to put awareness among our researchers, because our wish is that they put their work in our repository to make not just fair, but also to improve our heritage, and to make to have our heritage of our institution in one place together. So.
Yeah, I think that is a very important point, and I think then in particular the step in our program on the engagement strategy, how to engage researchers might be really relevant for you. So yeah, I think that is a very important step, because you can have all the infrastructure, you can have the perfect infrastructure, but if the researchers are not aware of it or are not using it, then yeah, I mean that's the critical step.
Okay, thank you.
And I see a question in the chat by Ilona. Is there a connection plan to the EOSC EU node? It's a tough question because I think also on the level of EOSC, things are also a bit in a transition phase at the moment. But the short answer would be yes. We are definitely aiming to provide support on connecting to EOSC. But I'm anticipating that there will also be some changes between now and September. So what that will exactly look like and how we will do that is still I cannot give a definite answer about it at this moment, but we are in very close connection with also people involved in European Open Science Cloud. So I would say yes. We will provide support on that. More questions? We will stick around for a couple of more minutes if you have any more questions. Let me show the information on one second. So as I mentioned earlier, we also have a series of FAIR implementation workshops. Two workshops that might be interesting for you are on the screen here. One is a workshop on for new repositories for new biodiversity research. It's on June 13th, and this is an interesting webinar on repositories specifically for biodiversity research. So this is on research, for example, on repositories storing data, training data sets for AI algorithms, and also the models themselves. So a different type of data, and also sequencing data. So very large data sets, and how you can deal with that in a repository. That's as far as my knowledge goes about this topic. So if you want to learn more about this, please join us on June 13th. And then we have another interesting webinar coming up on how to make sensitive data fair. And that one will be on June 25th. And the registration, registration will be soon up. But if you're interested in this, please already mark it in your calendars on June 25th, and keep an eye on our website or mailing lists to make sure that you be able to save a spot for this webinar. And thanks, Deborah, for putting the link in the chat to the FAIR implementation workshops. If there are no further questions, then I think we can wrap up this session. Thank you all for attending. If you have any further questions, you can always reach out to us by email, or indeed join the virtual clinic that we have planned for any, where we can basically, it's a reiteration of the information that we have here, and also a Q&A part where you can ask any of your questions. And I'm looking very much forward to seeing your applications and working with you together in our support program in September. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye. Good luck.
See you.
Bye.
See you.
Thanks. Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.